Pressure comes down, the surface meets it. Now the side reacts sharply. Contact spreads, then settles across the span. Oh yeah, yeah. Hands press, then ease. Left and right share the same height. Edges stop tilting, the frame rests where it works. Oh, tracking slows, correction shrinks. The body stops chasing small shifts because they finish on their own. Yeah, oh no. Nothing leaves, nothing tips, touch meets, and even plain the run continues across it. Each pass lands at the same height. No side gains, no side drops. The surface stay usable through weight. Lines stretch straight under pressure. Panels stay square. Lights keep their row. Corners hold without sag. The scene remains true. In daylight, I stay calm. The body expects the same landing and receives it every time, yeah. Pressure remains, yet the plane holds. Nothing sinks, nothing rises. The frame accepts what rests on it. Each moment matches the last, not copied but equal. The run stays smooth across strain. Attention lifts from heaviness to outline. The body feels the flatness more than the force. This is load finds level, weight present, surface even contact honest. Across distance, across time. Yeah, placement stays true, hands stay steady. I stay open across the long run. The condition holds payment. Pressure continues, the plane remains. Nothing lifts, nothing dips. The night allows this even run. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Touch meets the surface, let's go. Nothing clings, nothing pulls back. Pressure spreads it, then thins. The frame glides through contact. Grip eases without loss. Posture stays tall without strain. The body keeps shape on its own. Handling stays light, placement arrives clean. Edges pass without catch. The path opens at each touch and closes gently. Each pass feels smooth, no snag appears. No weight gathers the surface. Sensors then releases immediately. The same ease returns again and again. Without build up, without fatigue. And again. Without build up, without fatigue. And again.
Air parts quietly, panels slide past corners open early, then fold away. Spacing adjusts without push, the scene cooperates fully.
Hands guide lightly, then rest. I stay open without search. The body trusts the exchange. Touch remains brief, release remains quick. Nothing lingers between one pass and the next. The line stays clean. Nothing slows, nothing grips, nothing holds back. The frame remains free across the run without effort. Attention spreads beyond contact. Time feels thin between moments. The present stays open in light. This is drag-free motion. Touch without hold, contact without pull, release without delay. The run continues unburdened. Handling stays easy, energy stays even, placement stays clear across the stretch. The condition holds, no residue remains. After each pass, only space, only continuity. The night allows this light to run. keep their direction. Spacing stage with a bar. Contact lens. We're respected. The frame does not wonder. Crash repeated passes. So one feels anger. Maneuver pass on the nade. Crusher shifts them settles. Edges flux them return. With the just mid contact. Seek repeat distributes. Without till, without slide. Lights flicker up the side. Shadow stretches shooting. Voice wells then thims. Corners arrive unevenly. Then the fast stays true under the body. Hence we make home and stay level. Placement repeats despite side motion. Body tracks the same line. Push comes and fades. All follows and releases. Only the center keeps going. Checking souls, correction shrinks. Awareness widens. While the hands hold chords without effort. It's more than results, correction fades. Awareness widens while the hands hold chords without effort. Each moment resolves, night the last, night and day the cold line. The right stages of all crossways. Nothing goes offline, nothing draws outside. The frame remains where it belongs. To each shape, every time. 6 just pass, the center remains. Hands stay light, eyes stay clear. The night aroused, the steady mass. This is coming home, steady change at the edge, calm at the center. Movement contained within balance. The one continuum. Placement remains true, energy stays even. Attention stays wide across the long stretch. Information holds. Yeah. Fingers find the place before the eyes check. Pressure settles along familiar curves. The wheel turns at the right depth without pause. One action follows another without gaps, without markers. The body remembers what to do. Nothing wastes, nothing hesitates. Contact lands where it should. The frame responds immediately. Each attempt works like the last, and the one before the surface answers without protest. The run stays smooth. Yeah. Hands guide, then release. Eyes glance, then trust the path proceed. What a ride. Lights clear as the body moves. Corners open at the right moment. Spacing adjusts on approach. The sync cooperates without instruction. Looking back stops mattering. Correcting fades before it forms. The body stays ahead of doubt. Placement stays right. Timing stays kind. Nothing interrupts the sequence. The hands keep going on their own. Each pass feels known. Not learned the frame holds across trials. Accuracy remains without thought. Attention loosens while action continues. Thought trails behind like a shadow that never leaves. Only follow. This is no manual needed. Hands already know, eyes already trust the path
check before moving. Hands stay light, I stay clear. Spacing stay usable across the run. The night allows to see. No pages turn, no notes appear. Only contact, only response. The run continues.
Touch arrives, then passes through. Warm spreads briefly, yeah. Then evens out, nothing pulls along the surface. Yeah. Pressure enters, then exits along straight paths. Palms stay dry, grip stays honest. No film forms between skin and rim. What arrives moves on. What leaves does not return. The past stays open for the next pass. Each handoff stays neat, edges remain sharp. Nothing clouds the line ahead. The frame receives, then releases, every turns. Every time. No smear appears, no blur. Pale tilts the run, stays crisp from start to span. Air parts cleanly, panels stay bright, glass keeps tone. Lights hold their hue, no haze lingers. After each cross, hands stop checking, I stop chasing. The body expects a clean pass and receives it each time. Touch remains brief, release remains quick. Nothing sticks between moments, the path stays readable throughout. Yeah, what moves through does not stay. What stays does not begin. The frame keeps clarity across the run. Attention lifts from the hands to the span ahead. Time feels open between passes. The present stays fly. This is energy, remains clear. Pass clean, receive clean. Let go clean across distance, across time. Handling stays precise, placement stays true. Nothing dims, nothing muddies. The night allows this clarity. After each pass, the surface resets, ready again for the next touch. The run continues. Light switch sooner, then sooner again. Gaps tighten between one shade and then the next. The eye stays ready. Panels flip their tone before the last set. Reflections chase each other along glass and paint. Corners arrive closer than expected. The scene refreshes with less pause. I've tracked without delay, neck follows naturally. Hands respond mid-shift, see pressure adjust early. The body stays ahead of each change without effort. Intervals shorten yet remain clear. Nothing stacks, nothing blurs. Each switch lands cleanly. Waiting shrinks between flashes. Counting fails to keep up. Only readiness remains across the span. Attention stays lifted, scanning widens. Then the focus again and again. The frame accepts quicker time. Hands remain light, stay open. Posture holds while changes arrive. At a tighter pace, the body keeps up. No stumble appears, no leg form. HQ completes
breathes while another waits. Steps fall between beats. The frame accepts the mismatch. Hands answer at different moments. Pressure shifts unevenly. Eyes catch changes out of order. See way tilts then evens. Through use, nothing pulls together, nothing pushes apart. The body allows each part to keep its own timing. Late and early coexist, pacing adapts without strain. The run continues through difference without repair. Each action completes on its own clock, yet the path remains open for all of them together. Lights blink, out of phase panels refresh on separate cycles. Corners open at uneven moments, the scene proceeds regardless. Matching stops mattering, checking fades. Attention widens to accept uneven arrival as normal. Nothing collides, nothing stalls. Each part passes beside the other. The runs stay usable across gaps. Hands trust their timing, eyes trust theirs. The body carries both without forcing the merge. Early and later overlap without meeting. Moments slide past one another. The present stretches sideways. This is perfectly out of sync, apart yet workable, uneven yet clean. Each part intact, the run continues as is. Handling stays precise, placement stays clear. Attention stays wide across the span. The condition holds. Nothing aligns, nothing breaks. The night remains open, open to uneven steps that keep going. Pressure settles across the frame. Contact points accept distribution. Surface feedback arrives evenly. Support lines hold their angles. Minor strain disperses quietly. Nothing concentrates excessively. The system carries mass without distortion. Low roots across multiple paths. Stress divides before detection. Tolerance of variation. Correction completes upstream. Stability forms to spread. The structure adapts silently. Placement remains reliable. Response meets demand. Surfaces cooperate across applied force. The frame holds posture within capacity. Each interval repeats cleanly. Deflection stays controlled. Energy distributes evenly. Handling retains accuracy. The path remains usable across sustained pressure. Mass stops announcing itself. Assistance loses emphasis. Support stays present across duration. The system reads neutral despite accumulation. Overpasses hold steady spans. Guardrails maintain alignment. Lighting keeps uniform spread. Road texture transmits clearly. No section sags or lifts. The corridor remains level. A continuous demand. Engagement matches requirement. Excess force drops away. Input remains economical. Response completes early. The system avoids overreact by design. Handling stays composed. Orientation holds. Contact resolves smoothly across extended use. Accuracy persists without adjustment. Outcome repeats consistently. Margins remain available. Structure resists fatigue through repetition. The frame supports continuing without recalibration. Weight fades into context. Attention tracks geometry. Rather than force, the present stabilizes around some says balance under load. Weight carried, structure intact, distribution complete. Response dependable across conditions. Alignment persists, energy remains accessible. Handling stage precise, attention stays light across extended exposure. The condition holds, health stays applied, support remains sufficient. Operation stays internal, the night accommodates this sustained state. Lights change on fixed intervals, crossings clear on schedule. Doors open, then close. Systems proceed independently, nothing waits for attention. Everything continues, signals complete their cycles. Announcements lose urgency, timetables resolve themselves. The grid functions quietly, parts feel sure is a presence remains sufficient. Escalators carry empty steps, platforms maintain spacing, ventilation hums evenly, screens refresh without notice, street furniture holds position. The city keeps structure without reference to observers or response. Notification ceases, relevance feedback becomes unnecessary. Acknowledgement drops away, the environment does not wait. Execution continues on its own timing. Operations remain intact, transitions complete smoothly. Nothing requests input, nothing signals demand. The sequence sustains across repetition. Movement routes itself, occupancy remains tolerated. Presence fits the system without adjustment. The space accommodates by default. Footsteps blend into surface, sound shadows align with structure, reflection, step passing forms. The grid absorbs variation, identity fades from function. The city carries bodies as units, not subjects. Attention releases, outward focus, monitoring becomes ambient. Orientation holds internally, expectation dissolves. The environment remains neutral and operational. This is the city doesn't end. Systems remain complete, interaction unnecessary. Function proceeds uninterrupted. The space keeps working regardless. Structures remain available, timing stays consistent, capacity remains open. Parts attention stays optional, the grid sustains without invitation.
A change registers in advance, pressure just internally. Spacing organizes quietly. The frame prepares itself, response aligns ahead of cue. The moment feels anticipated. Air density shifts along surfaces. Fabric reacts before contact. Vibration patterns rearrange. Skin temperature equalizes. Muscle tone updates. Subtly posture adjusts. Without notice, the body receives instruction ahead of awareness. Lighting balances across distance. Reflections relocate slightly. Structures echo readiness. Mechanical systems idled expectantly. Dimming settle into position. The setting holds potential before expression. The state holds without output. Activation remains suspended. Alignment stays precise. Energy routes correctly, yet nothing expresses. The condition remains internal. Earlier and later overlap. Sequence loses hierarchy. Preparation detaches from outcome. Anticipation loses tension. The present stretches across possibility. Attention releases monitoring. Expectation steps aside. Control rests in readiness. Interpretation waits. The system remains poised without prompting. This is signal, leave before sound. Readiness preceding Split and Ranger. Surface temperature holds evenly. Distribution balances on its own. Input levels stop fluctuating. Internal buffers remain available. Output paths stay clear. The frame rate's readiness across every contact point. Filling ceases as a concept. Thresholds lose relevance. Supply matches demand continuously. Surplus settles into margin. Operation proceeds comfortably with an established capacity. Response arrives immediately. Handling stage precise. Energy routes without delay. The system answers cleanly across repeated calls. The condition feels complete. Performance remains consistent. Accuracy holds across range. Resolution stays high. Feedback confirms alignment. Then exits attention. The frame remains prepared. Lighting maintains optimal spread. Infrastructure stays responsive. Space feels supported without emphasis. External demand stays moderate. Resources remain accessible. The surroundings cooperate with sustained output. Engagement shortens further. Preparation becomes irrelevant. Capacity stays resident. Execution remains immediate. Monitoring relaxes. Trust occupies the gap. Access stays open. Delivery remains smooth. Timing lands correctly. Clocks extended operation. The system performs as baseline behavior. No variance accumulates. Margins stay intact. Orientation remains clear. The process repeats reliably across duration. The state persists. External cues fall quiet. Attention turns inward. Indicators confirm readiness. Distribution locks in. The frame holds steady without reinforcement. Moments lose weight. Intervals feel equal. Sequence relaxes. Expectation dissolves. The present fills space with usable energy. This is fully charged, filling capacity stabilized. Availability continuous. Response uncompromised. Across all conditions, the system remains ready. Accuracy remains exact. Energy stays accessible. Attention stays light. Handling remains precise across extended exposure. The condition holds. The route remains supportive. Infrastructure stays aligned. Resources remain distributed. Operation stays internal. The night accommodates this completed state. Touch meets then carries on. Edges guide without snag. Hands pass along. What arrives and keep room for what follows. The entry stays clean. Exit stays open. Nothing stacks between moments. Each end off finds its way. Arrival feels timely. Release right. Spacing stays workable across repeats. The run reads clear at every pass. The same path opens again and again. Each turn fits. Each return clears without air parsed and closes. Panels slide by without scrape. Corners widen then pull back. The scene offers a clear lane. Hands guide softly then rest. I stay open without change.
Contact with the surface feels reduced.
Vertical pressure equalizes.
Yeah, the frame lifts perceptually. Support remains present, yet weight withdraws from awareness.
See contact spreads evenly. Foot placement requires less force. Vibration dampens on arrival. Air resistance feels distant. Posture maintains height without reinforcement. The body occupies space effortlessly.
Compression loses relevance. Force routing shortens. Support systems engage quietly. Balance recalculates instantly.
Oh, the system maintains altitude within operation. Placement lands gently. Transitions feel suspended. The surface provides carry rather than resistance. Handling remains accurate
Within reduced load.
E-sequence complete softly. Contact points release early. Momentum converts to glide. The frame stays responsive without grounding emphasis. State remains usable. Pressure readings flatten. Routing ignores downward pull. Micro adjustments resolve. Minute of course and border assemble.
Pressure readings flatten. Routing ignores downward pull.
Micro adjustments resolve midair. Support arrives before demand. The system anticipates lift before contact completes. Energy ripped up. Awareness follows late. Language falls away sensationally.
Water reduces naturally, control naturally. The body stops bracing. Alignment holds effortlessly. Orientation of the surface. The path accepts contact without imprint handling. Stay precise despite hurdles. High reduced traction accuracy remains reliable.
Elevated, shadows detach from edges. Surfaces lose hardness. Distance opens vertically. The corridor supports elevation without resistance. Horizon drops importance. Vertical awareness expands.
Horizon drops importance. Vertical awareness expands. The present occupies volume instead of plain time. Feels every sequence loose. This is fast yet floating, processing dense, slow remove response intact. The system operates lightly across distance. Alignment stays exact, energy remains accessible. Attention stays open, handling remains controlled across extended exposure. The condition holds.
The route remains supportive. The surface stays cooperative. Pressure stay minimal. Operation continues aloft. The night accommodates. This lifted stay.
Hands ease their hold on the rim. Pressure shifts along the palm. The wheel answers with range. Distance opens or tightens based on contact, not intent. Grip loosens slightly, then firms again. The frame accepts either without complaint, without delay. The surface responds. Lines approach sooner than later. Spacing adapts without strain. The body remains calm under both sides. Stretches, then settles. The cabin stays quiet while timing flexes. Nothing resists the adjustment. Hands guide, then allow. The path receives what is given. Neither rush nor hold. Lights pass closer or drift wider. Corners resolve differently based on angle, not force. The route cooperates. Input widens, then narrows. The frame stays ready for either. The body trusts the exchange. Spacing stays workable across change. feel remains at the hands, at the seat, at the ground. This is velocity by choice, handled through contact, guided by feel, released when needed, taken when offered. The route allows it. Handling stage precise, across change, across rest. The night accommodates every approach. Hands remain light, distance remains usable. Nothing fixes, nothing drifts as the run continues. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hands arrive at position, wish is complete, contact resolves. The frame answers awareness, follows after completion. Placement lands directly, timing aligns, correction finalizes early. The body executes before reference forms, the result appears. Yeah, muscle engagement finishes, pressure redistributes, balance settles, grip adjusts, posture aligns, surface feedback registers, all within a single span without annotation. Yeah, recognition trails, interpretation cues later, meaning waits, the system proceeds uninterrupted across time. Each response fits context, adjustment completes upstream. Yeah, 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 yeah. The frame stays accurate across conditions, consistency remains independent of thought. Out stays clean, yeah. Placement remains exact, errors dissolve early, margin stays available. The sequence supports itself through duration. Yeah. Intersections resolve, sight lines clear, peripheral cues register before focus arrives. Surface variation announces itself through sensation, not evaluation. Oh yeah. Planning loses relevance, prediction disengages, monitoring relaxes, presence remains, execution continues on its own schedule. This emotion comes first. Action preceding awareness, response preceding explanation. The hierarchy reversed and stabilized as baseline. Accuracy persists, energy remains accessible, attention stays light, handling remains precise across extended exposure. The condition yeah, I gotta share and unset this and hold. Lane placement holds within margins, sightlines overlap sufficiently. Surface feedback remains readable, contact points share load evenly. Minor offsets cancel naturally. Orientation stays workable. The scene cooperates without calibration. Fine-tuning loses urgency, tolerance absorbs variance. Correction windows remain unused. Balance persists unaided. The system accepts range as adequate. Spacing supports operation. Timing lands close enough, responses meet demand. The frame proceeds comfortably without refinement across the span. Outcomes repeat consistently, margins remain available, resolution stays clear. The path accommodates variation, handling stays dependable through repetition. Curves resolve without emphases, markers arrive within expectation. Lighting supports visibility, takes sense, informed contact. Nothing requires exactness, the route remains usable across distance, across condition. Monitoring Minus tracks essentials, not precision. Execution proceeds smoothly within allowance. Each segment completes cleanly. Difference sustained, consequential. The corridor remains supportive across duration. Consistency feels familiar without insistence. Placement feels settled. Timing stays agreeable. Errors dissolve early. Margins protect outcome. The sequence holds through extended use. Comparison releases leverage. Optimality loses relevance. The present fills the frame. Function outweighs measure. The body rests inside fit. Operation continues quietly. This is a line enough. Agreement sufficient. Capacity sustained. Response reliable. Across situations, the system proceeds. Orientation persists. Energy remains accessible. Attention stays light. Handling stays precise. Across extended exposure, the condition holds. Main sufficient. Input stay minimal. Processing stays internal. The night accommodates the settle arrangement.
Yeah, the frame remains identical.
The frame remains identical. Position reads unchanged. Contact continues. Across repeated intervals, the scene does not redraw.
Yet operation persists.
Pressure redistributes continuously. Support alternates, subtly. Micro vision resolves immediately. Load transfers across contact points. Internal routing updates while surfaces look fixed. The body processes quietly without visible trace.
Observation releases comparison. Measurement loses leverage. Attention stays with continuity. Not outcome, not deviation. Execution proceeds. Response remain accurate. Timing stays reliable. Handling continues across identical frames. The system remains active within sameness. Each cycle completes then renews. Without accumulation, without fatigue, the condition sustains through duration.
Routing refreshes continuously. Distribution updates on contact. Latency collapses upstream. Micro corrections finalize early. Energy reallocates dynamically. The body maintains throughput while appearance holds. Language fails to describe what continues.
Earlier and later alive. Sequence flattens, counted becomes irrelevant. The present occupies, span operation remains uninterrupted across time.
Repetition becomes invisible.
Function reads as static, yet execution continues across every layer. The state remains viable. Without announcement, nothing signals transition. Nothing signals pulse.
The frame stay consistent. Processing stays active across extended exposure. The pattern holds. Moments lose numbering, duration spreads evenly. Comparison disengages, reference dissolves. The body inhabits continuity without emphasis.
Unchanging surface, active interior.
Operation without display, persistence without signal.
The system continues as lived reality. Accuracy remains, energy remains accessible. Attention stay live. Handling stays precise across long exposure. The condition holds.
The condition holds.
The frame, not shift. Operation continues. The night dynamic validates. This sustain, sustain. Oh. Yeah. Forest band remains readable. repeats itself.
Transitions arrive in sequence, the frame accepts continuation. Progress feels self-sufficient across the corridor. Each passes without emphasis, lane curvature resolves naturally. Surface texture informs contact, silence clear incrementally. Reference points update locally, context refreshes as needed. The root supports continuity without projection. Intervals distributed evenly, milestones lose sequence, holds coherence. Attention stays with present range. Expectation releases pressure, the path carries duration. As you level space, handling remains accurate. Alignment stays central, correction completes early. The system accommodates extension. Outcome remains secondary to operation. Intention thins to posture, planner relaxes its grip. Evaluation steps aside, the present expands laterally. Orientation holds through function. Preparation becomes implicit awareness, tracks conditions, not conclusions. Adjustment windows remain open, execution proceeds smoothly within range. Each segment completes cleanly, repetition gains texture. The corridor remains across duration. Consistency becomes familiar without demand. Confidence appears as precision, margins stay available. Attention distributes evenly, the frame reads clearly. For extended exposure, the sequence persists. Cadence remains sufficient, inputs stay minimal. Processing stays internal, the night accommodates this open-ended run. This is no destination set, orientation intact. Continuation assumed, completion unnecessary. The system remains valid across distance. Alignment persists, energy remains accessible. Handling states, attention stays live. Attention stays live across extended use. The condition holds. Street-colored pulses softly, intervals remain even. Brightness swells, then eases, crossing edge and glass. The frame accepts the cycle without instruction. Chest movement finds a lane. Pressure equalizes gradually, exchange completes smoothly. Across repeated spans, the system stays comfortable within the pattern. Billboard shift saturation, tunnel lights repeat spacing. Window rows brighten in sequence, reflections ripple along panels. Neon edges soften that turn, surfaces respond uniformly. The city emits a tempo through illumination. Rip expansion settles naturally, diaphragm tension releases evenly. Air distribution stays balanced, circulation aligns quietly. Posture supports exchange without correction. The internal field stabilizes in response. Counting becomes irrelevant. Awareness stops monitoring. Exchange regulates itself. The system trusts timing. Alignment holds across cycles. Intake widens gently. Release completes fully. Residual pressure clears. Comfort expands slightly. The rhythm remains steady within range. Light and exchange coincide, not by command, but by fit. The interval feels shared across surfaces, across the body. Cadence remain consistent, variation stays subtle. Intensity avoids peaks, the cycle supports endurance across extended use. The state persists, exterior glow fills the view. Interior exchange fills volume, boundaries soften between outside and inside. The present expands later, release sequence loosens. This is neon breath, city light and body exchange, sharing a single cycle, sustained without effort. The alignment holds across distance. the ice settled, grip forms at the right time. Precious threads, unfamiliar curves that turn complete without pause. My game big face, chicken drops away. The hands arrive already placed. The body follows without question. Pose guide, then release and just pass where expected. Not beating to rough the line. Each reach felt like the rest, never not rehearsed. The surface sensation. Channeling space and just on approach. Lights clear as the hands move. This ain't cooperate silently. Hesitation dissolves before it starts. Correction shrinks to nothing. The body stays ahead of us. Touch remains brief, release stays clean. Nothing catches between moments. The past stays open through us. Hands trust what they may, eyes follow. After one, the rose and shine. Sound pulls back like heaving down. Attention lifts from detail. Only contact remains across the span. Near and far, feel connected. Earlier and later, lose distance. The presence clutches at home. This is hands, know the way. Touch your razor, dentures already taken. Guidance building across distance, across time. Handling stays precise, placements gain true. Attention stays high across the long run. The contagion. Says here, no step phase, only hands, only whispers the night. There's knowing right. Next up, send my thought goes later. Both complete with vibrator. There's been excess. Your timing. One in turn with the other rest. Pressure shifts at different moments. Grip inserts its own code. The same allows both. Like switch out of torpedoes, refresh on their own beat. Coolers open, in goes a scene. Proceeds regardless. Release fake, side by side, spacing and paths to the gap. Nothing collapse, nothing stops. Hurry a distance later, be the cues. Moments light on parallelize. The present widens. Yeah, matching up this pool. Shaggy baits, awareness opens to defense. Hands continue as they are.